Today I started working on a quilted coat. Now all of the fabrics you see in this video came from the thrift store. I have a friend who volunteers there and she brought me all these cool Christmas fabrics. The pattern I'm going to use comes from the Stylish Wraps book. It is translated from Japanese and even the largest size is a little small, so I will probably have to update it for my larger shoulders. My first step was to cut all the fabric into 2.5-inch strips. It was really satisfying. Now I wasn't going to go through the headache of trying to place the fabrics intentionally, so I just rolled dice to determine which fabrics would go together. And once I had groups of 4 strips sewn together, it was time to head over to the ironing board. It was really satisfying for me to iron everything and look at how everything came together, considering I just rolled the dice. And these are all of my strips ready to be cut again and sewn together yet again. My goal is to have 2x2-inch squares in my finished coat. So here we are, cutting them again 2.5 inches all the way up. And I ended up with more than 300 little strips like this. And I wasn't going to roll the dice again because I didn't know how to manage that, so instead I made a giant mess. I threw all the strips onto the floor, mixed them up really good, and stuffed them into a pillowcase. And I'll admit, as I pulled them out, there were a couple times I had to make sure identical squares weren't touching, but for the most part, I just went with the flow. It really was the same process as the first time. I sewed strips together in pairs and then sewed those pairs together again, so I would get cute little 4x4 squares. And now after one final press, I'm ready to lay out all the blocks and decide how I'm going to assemble them into my coat. Please like and follow if you'd like to come along for the rest of this project. I can't wait to see how it turns out, but I'm really excited and pleased with it so far.